be very, I want to say this evening is that the staffs are wonderful. You know, they have this way of prompt response. The moment you know, if you are really being into investment, you know what I'm saying. There's some companies you will send mail to, and you keep reminding them, I just sent mail. You send another mail to remind another mail, you know. But before you drop your phone, a call is being sent across to you, and the matter is being resolved, and it's so amazing. And one thing is that I think one of Dr. Akitayo's investor mentees or whatever, you know, openness. It shows everybody the check. This is the check. This is what we are collecting. Do you know? So I decided to throw my weight in. I said yes, and I want to say something. I have no regret doing that.
Blackpink in your area.
보란 듯이 무너졌어. 바닥을 뚫고 저 지하까지. 엊그처럼 잡겠다고 저 높이 두 손을 뻗어봐도 다시 캄캄한 이곳에 light up the sky. 네 두 눈을 보며 kiss you bye. 실컷 비웃어라 꼴 좋으니까 이젠 너희 하나 둘 셋. How you like that? You gon' like that? Da 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 da. How you like that? How you like that? Da 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 da. Now look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. How you like that? Now look at you, now look at me.
Hey champion, if you've been part of the 21-day high ticket sales challenge, you already know this isn't just another training. It's a game changer for closing high ticket real estate deals, attracting premium clients, and building long-term wealth. But success is better when shared. Here's how to keep the momentum going. Share the Zoom link. Invite your team and contacts to register at www.gtextandassociates.com/s. They'll get full access to join the live Zoom sessions and engage directly too. Share on Facebook, follow our page, G-Text and Associates, turn on notifications. Share the live video to your timeline, in groups, and tag your realtor friends. Share on Instagram, follow us. At G-Text and Associates, tap the bell to turn on notifications. Share our flyer, clips, or reels to your story. Tag at G-Text and Associates and use hashtag 21-Day Sales Challenge so we can repost you. Share on YouTube. Subscribe to G-Text and Associates. Post your takeaways from today's session. Include the registration link, www.gtextandassociates.com/SC. Encourage your professional network to join. Final step, use your voice. Record a short video or voice note sharing what you've gained and why others should attend. Post it across your platforms. Tag at G-Text and Associates and use hashtag 21-Day Sales Challenge so we can repost you. Let's turn this challenge into a movement. Don't keep the fire to yourself. Ignite your network.
18. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Why are you climbing now?
Shebi you say una get pre-launch for Oje Festival.
Yes.
I dey count my plots now. 7,
Hey,
8.
abeg, no
9.
enjoy yourself.
You know say
This is Easter.
You know say as we dey go this land now, the first one they don sell and finish.
Yes.
All my family don buy. That time they buy for 5 million naira, I no buy.
Exactly.
And so now they do pre-launch 50%. I say make I count how many plots na get when I dey sell for it.
20 plus for now for this Easter.
Make I
plan
count
too.
15.
That is my ball.
18,
Okay.
19, 18. Yeah,
No
yeah,
more,
yeah,
no
yeah,
follow.
yeah.
Very Fort City Kurudu Phase 2 is officially open. We are giving a 50% discount pre-launch offer. Subscribe now.
Smart investors, we are here live at Jasper Smart City, Isheri, for our land allocation and inspection. And one of the amazing things that is happening here today is we are allocating land to the early investors that have keyed into this opportunity that we have here at Jasper Smart City. One of our investors is actually here with us, and I would just like to just ask him some brief questions just to show you what we have here and what you are doing here. And I remember that this is not your first time of coming to this estate. Actually, some time ago we came together, and when we came here, you realize that it was ongoing. But between then and now, what do you see to have been the difference so far?
There's so much difference. The time I came here, then we don't have a fence. There's no drainage. This is my property. There's a lovely gate and set going on.
I want to share about video marketing. How do you market with videos? Particularly when it comes to real estate, I need to know that people buy based on what they see, and you have to master the art of painting what they need to buy to them. I've had to leverage on video marketing to sell properties over the years, and I want to start by saying you're not selling a product, you're selling you. A lot of us struggle with low self-esteem. I don't think my face is good enough. I don't think my teeth is white enough. I don't think, I think I'm too chubby or I'm too slim. Let go all of that. What people want to see is your sincerity and the depth of knowledge that you have about the sector. So when I started selling real estate, I'll go to our estate and I will start sharing stories. And that gives me number one way to sell using video: history. History of that particular property, history of that particular location, right? So Ikorodu was where I was selling, and I just needed to do research about Ikorodu. I had to do research about the companies in Ikorodu. I had to do research about the history of Ikorodu. I had to even do research about the geographical positioning of Ikorodu. To a point, I realized that by water, we could go by boat from where our estate was to VI. And so it was easy to have a dream where in future we want to have jetty in our estate in Ikorodu, and people can use their boat, if they have boats or normal commercial boats, to take people from that place to VI for those who work on the island. And by being able to do videos where I was breaking all of this down, people were interested in buying. Okay, so do videos, and you can go the route of history to do videos. Another approach when it comes to history is to show, the history of those. I'll give an example. Whenever I want to sell Abuja, I normally use the history. I've used the history of Transcorp before. There's a picture of Transcorp Hotel 1985 where it was just this 10, 12-story building in the midst of a forest. And I would say, look, but these people have foresight. Today, look at the same Transcorp of 1985 and the Transcorp of 2004 and see how development caught up with. But those who own it had foresight to build something way, and we call it highest and best use. So history comparison is very powerful, but going the history route. Another way to sell property using video is data, right? You can just go, do you know this, do you know that, do you know this? So I did this a lot in Dubai, where I was just using data to explain to them and say, hey, do you know pre-2008, a 2-story in Dubai was going for this price. Right now, do you know the price? And guess what? In the next 5 years, what do you think the price was going to be? I also use the same company's product that they've launched maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago and compare and say, look, they were selling this particular unit 5 years ago for this price. Today, it's going for this price. So do you know that if you then buy, see what's likely to happen? So give them, a lot of questions of do you know. Another very powerful way is called lifestyle video. And this is for you that big boys and big girls. You have a sport car, you have a Rolls Royce, you also live in a very posh, high location. So imagine walking towards your car and then or driving and then telling a story. So I did 2 versions of this. I had one with my friend. He had a Bentley and lives in Dubai, and beautiful Bentley, with an open roof, and we're just driving on the street of Sheikh Zayed Road in Dubai, and then just recording ourselves and just say, hey, you see the lifestyle, this is it, this is the life, invest in Dubai. Another version I do, I come out of my property, my house in Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world in Dubai, walking out, entering the Rolls Royce with my driver driving me away, and inside the Rolls Royce, I'm just giving them ideas about the lifestyle I live and how investing in real estate position me for that kind of lifestyle. So you can do lifestyle videos if you can afford it. That just, and that also really, really attracts and can help you big time in selling. Very important. The last one I want to talk about is actually information marketing. Can everybody type information marketing? I want all of you to type it. And in this particular case, you just turning yourself to a consultant. You just want to educate. You just want to mentor. You just want to share. This video now can be edu selling. Okay, where I'm educating you. What is my ultimate goal? Is to convince you to be able to sell property for our company. You see now? But the way I've been able to attract you to sell property for our company is to what? To train you. So the same thing, you're looking for customers to buy property from you. You then turn yourself to a consultant to say, hey, I'm going to teach you, for example, different types of land and their sizes. I'm going to teach you on different documentations. I'm going to teach you on how to, easily access properties. You can go different routes about it, but the information marketing route is a powerful, powerful way to sell real estate and make good money for yourself. So, I mean, this is my own favorite way. I mean, I've sold billions of dollars in real estate assets using information. You know, I just go live, and I prefer live show with this more. I go live and I'm teaching 5 ways to build wealth through real estate, 5 things to know, 5 ways to make $1 million in real estate. You know, stories of Dangote real estate portfolio, stories of Okoya real estate investment. I just go all educating, and I realize over the years it has helped a lot of people to want to build relationship, come close, and work together to build something huge. So I hope you're going to try this. So assignment number 1 today, I want you to do one video under this videos type of, you know, video marketing, and post in the group you belong to, and let's see what exactly you've been able to achieve, what exactly you're doing, and let's hope that you get it right the way we want you to do it. And don't forget, call 50 people every day. Send inbox messages, SMS to people. Tell them what you do. 2 P's you cannot afford to have: poverty and pride. Right? To be ashamed of what pays your bill is foolishness at the highest level. Foolishness at the highest level. To be ashamed of your hustle is foolishness at the highest level. You are a saleswoman, you're a salesman. You are doing a legitimate job. Be proud of it. And go ahead and tell people to business with me, you know, and be proud about it. Be proud about your hustle. Be bold about your hustle. Listen, I'm one of those who have made real estate something to be proud of. And I've done it even in the midst of so much doubt, so much disbelief, so much distrust when it comes to real estate. Okay, well, how do you shine if not in darkness? Your light shines brighter in a dark environment. So stop being ashamed of what you do, right? As long as it's a legitimate job. Yahoo boys are not ashamed. 419s are not ashamed. Why should you, doing a legal, legitimate business, be ashamed? Come on. Okay? Do that video. Bounce, dress well, pose like a billionaire that you are, and tell your customer you have the solution to their problem when it comes to real estate investment and building wealth. I love you. I hope you've enjoyed today. I'm Dr. Stephen Akintayo. I want to share about video marketing. How do you market with videos? Particularly when it comes to real estate, I need to know that people buy based on what they see, and you have to master the art of painting what they need to buy to them. I've had to leverage on video marketing to sell properties over the years, and I want to start by saying you're not selling a product, you're selling you. A lot of us struggle with low self-esteem. I don't think my face is good enough. I don't think my teeth is white enough. I don't think, I think I'm too chubby or I'm too slim. Let go all of that. What people want to see is your sincerity and the depth of knowledge that you have about the sector. So when I started selling real estate, I'll go to our estate and I will start sharing stories. And that gives me number 1 way to sell using video: history of that particular property, history of that particular location, right? So Ikorodu was where I was selling, and I just needed to do research about Ikorodu. I needed to do research about the companies in Ikorodu. I had to do research about the history of Ikorodu. I had to even do research about the geographical, positioning of Ikorodu. To a point, I realized that by water, we could go by boat from where our estate was to VI. And so it was easy to have a dream where in future we want to have jetty in our estate in Ikorodu, and people can use their boats, if they have boats or normal commercial boats, to take people from that place to VI for those who work on the island. And by being able to do videos where I was breaking all of this down, people were interested in buying. Okay, so do videos, and you can go the route of history to do videos. Another approach when it comes to history is to show, the history of those. I give an example. Whenever I want to sell Abuja, I normally use the history. I've used the history of Transcorp before. There's a picture of Transcorp Hotel 1985 where it was just this a 10 12 story building in the midst of a forest. And I'll say, look, but these people have foresight. Today, look at the same Transcorp of 1985 and the Transcorp of 2004 and see how development caught up with. But those who own it had foresight to build something way, and we call it highest and best use. So history comparison is very powerful, but going the history route. Another way to sell property using video is data, right? You can just go, do you know this, do you know that, do you know this? So I did this a lot in Dubai, where I was just using data to explain to them and say, hey, do you know pre-2008, a two-story in Dubai was going for this price. Right now, do you know the price? And guess what? In the next 5 years, what do you think the price was going to be? I also use the same company's product that they've launched maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago and compare and say, look, they were selling this particular unit 5 years ago for this price. Today, it's going for this price. So do you know that if you then buy, see what's likely to happen? So give them, a lot of questions of do you know. Another very powerful way is called lifestyle video. And this is for you that big boys and big girls. You have a sport car, you have a Rolls Royce, you also live in a very posh high location. So imagine walking towards your car and then or driving and then telling a story. So I did two versions of this. I had one with my friend. He had a Bentley and lives in Dubai, and beautiful Bentley, with an open roof, and we're just driving on the street of Sheikh Zayed Road in Dubai, and then just recording ourselves and just say, hey, you see the lifestyle, this is it, this is the life, invest in Dubai. Another version I do, I come out of my property, my house in Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world in Dubai, walking out, entering the Rolls Royce with my driver driving me away, and inside the Rolls Royce, I'm just giving them ideas about the lifestyle I live and how investing in real estate position me for that kind of lifestyle. So you can do lifestyle videos if you can afford it. That just, and that also really, really attracts and can help you big time in selling. Very important. The last one I want to talk about is actually information marketing. Can everybody type information marketing? I want all of you to type it. And in this particular case, you just turning yourself to a consultant. You just want to educate. You just want to mentor. You just want to share. This video now can be edu selling. Okay, where I'm educating you. What is my ultimate goal? Is to convince you to be able to sell property for our company. You see now? But the way I've been able to attract you to sell property for our company is to what? To train you. So the same thing, you're looking for customers to buy property from you. You then turn yourself to a consultant to say, hey, I'm going to teach you, for example, different types of land and their sizes. I'm going to teach you on different documentations. I'm going to teach you on how to, easily access properties. You can go different routes about it, but the information marketing route is a powerful, powerful way to sell real estate and make good money for yourself. So, this is my own favorite way. I've sold billions of dollars in real estate assets using information. I just go live, and I prefer live show with this more. I go live and I'm teaching 5 ways to build wealth through real estate, 5 things to know, 5 ways to make $1 million in real estate. You know, stories of Dangote real estate portfolio, stories of Okoya real estate investment. I just go all educating. And I realize over the years, it has helped a lot of people to want to build relationship, come close and work together to build something huge. So I hope you're going to try this. So assignment number 1 today, I want you to do one video under this videos type of, video marketing, and post in the group you belong to, and let's see what exactly you've been able to achieve, what exactly you're doing, and let's hope that you get it right the way we want you to do it. And don't forget, call 50 people every day. Send inbox messages, SMS to people. Tell them what you do. 2 P's you cannot afford to have: poverty and pride. Right? To be ashamed of what pays your bill is foolishness at the highest level. Foolishness at the highest level. To be ashamed of your hustle is foolishness at the highest level. You are a saleswoman, you're a salesman. You are doing a legitimate job. Be proud of it. And go ahead and tell people, do business with me. And be proud about it. Be proud about your hustle. Be bold about your hustle. Listen, I'm one of those who have made real estate something to be proud of. And I've done it even in the midst of so much doubt, so much disbelief, so much distrust when it comes to real estate. Okay, well, how do you shine if not in darkness? Your light shines brighter in a dark environment. So stop being ashamed of what you do, right? As long as it's a legitimate job. Yahoo boys are not ashamed. 419s are not ashamed. Why should you, doing a legal, legitimate business, be ashamed? Come on. Okay? Do that video. Bounce, dress well, pose like a billionaire that you are, and tell your customer you have the solution to their problem when it comes to real estate investment and building wealth. I love you. I hope you've enjoyed today. I'm Dr. Stephen Akintayo.
Good morning, everyone joining us in today's session. Hope you are glad to be here. It's so great to see us all. Today is a beautiful morning, and we're starting on a very high note this morning. One takeaway from me from doctors is you can't afford to have 2 P's. You can't afford to be proud, and also to enjoy poverty. Can't be poor and be proud at the same time. Show everyone what you are doing. So many of us have gone out there today and put something out about what you do. How many of us are proud about what we do? So I want us to put in the chat box where you're joining us this morning. And also, as you're putting down where you're joining us this morning, put down 1 or 2 things you've learned from today's session. I just said my own. You can't afford to have 2 P's. You can't be proud and also be poor at the same time. Don't be shy of what you do. A Yahoo boy is never shy of doing Yahoo, and he's doing something illegal. But you have a legitimate job. You have a legitimate business you're running. You're a salesperson. So be proud about it. So put in the chat box. Let me see it rolling in. Something you learned from today and where you're joining us from this morning. I can see a lot of beautiful faces here, and I'm so excited to have us joining in today's session. Today is day 14. All right, so can I have us drop in the chat box where you're joining us from? Put in the chat box, tell us where you're joining us from, and drop in the chat box something you've learned from today's doctor session. I want to quickly read it out. All right, I can see it coming up. Doctor mentioned a lot of things today about how to sell with video. Video is very important in sales. People like to buy something they have seen? If it doesn't appeal to their eyes, how will they buy? All right, I can see a lot of people coming in. Somebody joining from Lafia, Sarawa. Wow, Peter, good to have you. Jeremiah from Ondo. Oh, all the way from the United States of Ondo. All right, I'm joining from Omole. Good to have us here. Yes, you need to carry your business on your head. Carry your business for head. Good, 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 good. I'm loving all of these comments, and I'm happy we've gotten something from today's session. Okay, somebody just dropped one. It is foolishness to be ashamed of your hustle. Solomon, all the way from Port Harcourt. Wow. Wow, wow, that is massive. A lot of us have gotten massive value this morning, and I'm excited. I want you to go and do the assignment that has given today. Is it that you sell by history, do a video about the history of the property you're selling, or you sell by edu selling, do a video educating people, be that consultant, and if you are the rich guy, like doctor said, you can do the lifestyle selling. So do a video about lifestyle, say like a billionaire that you are, do a video, show them why real estate is what they should invest in. Show them why real estate is a gold mine. Show them why real estate is the other oil they can invest in. And also you can do a video on data, explaining to them the facts and the data about the property you want to sell. And I'm telling you, you will be going viral in a short while. All right, all right, all right. If you still have one or two things to drop, quickly drop it in the chat box. Quickly drop it in the chat box, and let's have a good time together as we start today's session. Wow, 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 wow. It's been great. Today is day 14. It's been an exciting thus far. If you've been getting value from day 1 till now, can you drop just drop a word in the chat box, something that you've learned, something that have changed about you from the last 14 days, things you've started to do differently, things you've learned, things you've been implementing. Put in the chat box your testimony, something that you've done differently, or something you've picked from this section thus far, these 14 days, and you are implementing and you're seeing the results. Can you put it in the chat box? Put in the chat box. Let's see. Let's encourage 1 or 2 people too from this. Can I get, okay, I've gotten a lot of comments. Let me try and see if I can read through some of our comments in this session. 1 minute. Okay. I'm trying to see if our speaker today is here, so I can bring her up. Okay. Give me 1 minute. All right, so I'm still waiting for our responses from the chat box. Something you've learned, something that blessed you, something that has changed about you, something you want to share. Something you want to share. All right. Can I have it in the chat box? Someone typing. Doctor spoke a lot today, so I'm expecting us to do our videos today. Go all out, do a video, a very nice video with what you have. Dress well, look smart, face the camera. Don't be shy about what you sell. Put your hustle for head. Carry your hustle for your head. Yes, carry your hustle on your head. Don't be ashamed of what you sell. Don't be ashamed of what pays your bill. That's where don't put it. Say, don't be ashamed of what pays your bills. All right. I can see our trainer is live and here today. All right, in a quick seconds from now, we're bringing her up. And I'm sure you'll be getting massive value today. And today is a special day because we'll be going to the legal side of real estate. And I'm so happy, and I have the honor of bringing up the only people that are learned in the whole of the country. The only learned people that we know. They are the legal practitioners. So they are the only ones that greet themselves as learned colleagues. I'm not a learned colleague, but I've also learned from the learned people. So with my little knowledge and with the little things I've learned from them, I can also bring them up and introduce them and bring them up on this platform to also educate us. All right, so with us this morning, we have no other person than Mrs. Esther Onova. Now, she's not just that name. I actually have added ESQ at the back of the name. Well, before I add ESQ at the back, let me just tell you, she's a legal practitioner with a lot of experience, massive experience, and she's a consultant, chief consultant, legal consultant with GTEX Holdings. So I have the honor of bringing up Mrs. Esther Onova to come and take us into this session. Can we put in the chat box a wonderful emoji to welcome her on board and to bring her up and to teach us this morning? Can I see your fire emoji? You're going to get massive value today. Our legal consultant is here and she's ready to give us massive value. All you need to know about property document. All you need to know about property documents, and you'll be learning massively today. Prepare your questions and let us all learn together. All right. So, Mrs. Esther, kindly unmute.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for the privilege to be here today. It's an honor to, take this topic, all you should know about land titles in Nigeria. Hello, can you hear me?
Can hear you clearly now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so first of all, I would like to differentiate between land titles and land documents. So what are land titles? Land titles are legal papers that say who owns land titles are, are land documents that state who owns a particular property or a certain piece of property. While on the other hand, land documents are, things like your receipt, your invoice, your survey, and all of that. My slides are up. Okay. Receipts.
Give us 1 second. I'm trying to work on our audio, and our trainer will be back as soon as possible.
21-day high ticket sales challenge? You already know this isn't just another training. It's a game changer for closing high ticket real estate deals, attracting premium clients, and building long-term wealth. But success is better when shared. Here's how to keep the momentum going. Share the Zoom link. Invite your team and contacts to register at www.gtextandassociates.com/s. They'll get full access to join the live Zoom sessions and engage directly too. Share on Facebook, follow our page, G-Text and Associates, turn on notifications. Share the live video to your timeline, in groups, and tag your realtor friends. Share on Instagram, follow us. At G-Text and Associates, tap the bell to turn on notifications. Share our flyer, clips, or reels to your story. Tag at G-Text and Associates and use hashtag 21-day sales challenge so we can repost you. Share on YouTube. Subscribe to G-Text and Associates. Post your takeaways from today's session. Include the registration link, www.gtextandassociates.com/sc. Encourage your professional network to join. Final step, use your voice. Record a short video or voice note sharing what you've gained and why others should attend. Post it across your platforms. Tag at G-Text and Associates and use hashtag 21-day sales challenge so we can repost you. Let's turn this challenge into a movement. Don't keep the fire to yourself. Ignite your network.
Can you hear me now? Hope it's better.
Clearly.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, sorry for okay. So whether or not you're buying from a property developer, once money has passed hands, the first thing you're going to get is your receipt. So your receipts, your contract of your these are known as land documents. While the title is what shows is your legal papers that shows that I am the owner of this land. Land documents. So it is very important. It is very important that you know the type of land documents that you receive after purchasing a land, because this will depend primarily on the type of land you buy or the conditions of the purchase. For example, if you're purchasing your land on instrumental basis, or you have certain agreements with the vendor of the land, obviously you'll be executing a contract of sale with the land vendor, because this is what states, the terms of the purchase. Oh, I, Mr. A, will give you this property on payment of maybe 50%. You can have possession, and then you would pay the balance of the 50% in so months. After due payment, a deed of assignment will be executed, and all relevant documents will be handed over to you. So this is what your contract of sale will most likely state. And then, certain conditions that of the land purchase. So, however, it is very important that we understand that not all the documents that will be discussed today apply to a single property. It may vary. Okay. So, first and foremost, what we have is the certificate of occupancy. Now, the Nigerian 1978 Land Use Act entrusts all urban lands to the governor of each state in Nigeria to hold and to allocate to individuals, group of individuals and organizations for residential, commercial, and industrial purposes. What this means in essence is that the state government owns all so the certificate that the state government gives to you to prove is your land document, and then you refer to it as certificate of occupancy. Now, popularly called CFO, certificate of occupancy is your authorized land document that this government will issue to prove ownership of the property. Now, CFO is just once on a piece of property, and it is valid for 99 years, after which it is subject to renewal for another 99 years. However, it is also important to note that when you have a certificate of occupancy, you would be subject to pay your land dues and all of that for your land tenant, because the land is being given to you by the government. You'll be subject to certain terms and conditions to maintain the land. So you'll be required to pay your land use charge and all of that. Failure to pay for a certain period of time, you would also be liable to some form of sanctions. And then it is very important to abide by the terms and conditions of the government to be able to maintain, your certificate of occupancy. And at the end of the day, once the 99 years is over, renew. It's also important to note that if you as a land owner acquires a certificate of occupancy from the government firsthand and you are issued 99 years, and in undisturbed possession of that land for, let's say, 20 years, and you decide to sell that land, what you will be given, yes, you have a certificate of occupancy, but what you will be giving to whoever is that property from you, it's not 99 years that you got to. It is less 20 years. You have property for 20 years, you have 99 years. What you will be passing to whoever buys from you is 79 years. So he has that certificate valid for another 79 years. If that person decides to stay on it for, let me say, another 20, it's less that. So even if it's 1 year, it's less 1 year. If it's 20 years, if it's 49, but you stay on the property for 49 years and you decided to sell, the remainder of years that has been assigned to you. Well, so let's talk about excision. Now, excision, well, not so popular, but it is also an important land title in Nigeria. What this means is that the government approved the release of land previously under global acquisition. So let me explain this. In Nigeria, we have two types of acquisition. We have global acquisition and committed acquisition. Now, committed acquisition means that this land is committed to be used by the government for a specific purpose. For example, this land is committed for road. It is committed for maybe the government wants to develop in 20 years hospital or industries or a specific purpose that the government has, or maybe they want to start a technical institute on the land or whatever. That is committed. But landholder global, it means that it can be excised to whoever. Once you apply for this land to be excised to you, the government will release this land to you. So it's an application to the government to say, please release this certain portion of land to us. And then when the process of excision has now been finalized, you can go ahead to process governor's consent. But also, once the process of excision has been finalized, each evidence of such will be gazetted. So that's what moves us to okay, let me just, governor's consent is next, but let me just talk about gazette. Let me just talk about gazette, because evidence of which it is gazetted. So gazette is a publication. It's a legal record book that describes in detail a piece of land that has been cut off by the government and given back to a community or family. Now, the document will have the name of the community and specifics about the land, and what the land, that the land was used in the process of excision. So it means that it was excised to this family or community. And then with a gazette, a person or group of persons, if it was applied for as a group, that group can apply to the government for a certificate of occupancy or for a governor's consent or whatever. Excision and gazette, they are good titles. And when you're buying a property, if you see that the excision has been complete, yes, this is a good title. Gazette is also a good title when you're buying and you're selling land, and it makes sure that the land is safe to buy and build on it. Now let's talk about governor's consent. Now, governor's consent, as the name implies, it means that the consent of the government of the state has been gotten for a land transaction. So it is important all land. Remember, I said the Land Use Act states that all land belongs to the government. So when ownership changes hands, it is also required by law that the government is aware of this transaction. So what governor's consent simply means is that Governor Sanwo-Olu is aware that Mr. A has sold his land to Mr. B, and then I sign it and stamp it, and that is governor's consent. So the purpose of the document is to confirm that the state government is aware of this particular and they approve of such transaction. You can apply for governor's consent and receive it at any time. Unlike certificate of occupancy, that the process is quite tedious and quite expensive and all of that. Governor's consent can be gotten firsthand before you go ahead to process any
If you've been part of the 21-day high ticket sales challenge, you already know this isn't just another training. It's a game changer for closing high ticket real estate deals, attracting premium clients, and building long-term wealth. But success is better when shared. Here's how to keep the momentum going. Share the Zoom link. Invite your team and contacts to register at www.gtextandassociates.com/s. They'll get full access to join the live Zoom sessions and engage directly too. Share on Facebook, follow our page, G-Text and Associates, turn on notifications. Share the live video to your timeline, in groups, and tag your realtor friends. Share on Instagram, follow us. At G-Text and Associates, tap the bell to turn on notifications. Share our flyer, clips, or reels to your story. Tag at G-Text and Associates and use hashtag 21-Day Sales Challenge so we can repost you. Share on YouTube. Subscribe to G-Text and Associates. Post your takeaways from today's session. Include the registration link, www.gtextandassociates.com/SC. Encourage your professional network to join. Final step, use your voice. Record a short video or voice note sharing what you've gained and why others should attend. Post it across.
Okay. So sorry for breaking transmission once again. I hope everyone can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just say hello in the comments, in the chat box, so I know that I'm being audible. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I know I was talking about governor's consent. So I said, unlike certificate of occupancy that you can only apply for once and valid for 99 years. For governor's consent, you can, the process is not as tedious as getting a CFO, and then you can apply for it at any time. It's not as expensive. All you need to do is just apply. Once it has been approved, you pay the required fee for your up-stamping and all of it, and then it will be signed and it will be registered, entered into the system. So at any point in time, it's in the records of lands. So it shows when you go to check, Mr. A bought this property, sold it to Mr. B, the governor's consent was gotten, it was registered. When Mr. B goes to buy, yes, gets a governor's consent, and it is effected that this property now belongs to Mr. C. So that is the process of getting a governor's consent. So let's talk about deed of assignment. Now, deed of assignment transfers ownership of landed property from one person to the other. It is usually between the buyer and the seller, known as the assignor, and the seller, known as the assignee. Now, the deed of assignment shows that both of them agreed to transfer ownership of this land as stated in their contract of agreement. Now, the deed of assignment is effective as stated in the deed and is usually prepared by the legal representative of the buyer or the seller. So, deed of assignment, very important. That is like the first thing. Once you do your due diligence, once you are satisfied that, oh, I want to proceed with this transaction, there is no encumbrance on the land, you pay for the land, you get your receipt that shows money has changed hands, money has passed from Mr. A to Mr. B. Then you execute a deed of assignment to show that this property, the ownership of the property has passed from Mr. A to Mr. B. Now, deed of assignment, like I said earlier, if the property has a C of O. What the seller will be assigning to you is the unexpired term of years that was originally granted to him by the government. So if he has been in occupation of the land for, let's say, 50 years, and you buy the property, the deed of assignment will speak to the fact that I am assigning you the unexpired term of years of 49 years. So, deed of assignment, and then it states the term of the transaction. You'll be in peaceful possession and all of that, and all the other clauses. You'll be required to pay maybe the land use charge, the taxes, the duties as pertains to the land, that you would abide by the terms of, because each state, have their own rules governing them. What is applicable in Lagos is not what is applicable in Abuja. It's not what is applicable in Port Harcourt. So all of those things. And as a land buyer, it is very important that, you are well abreast with all of this. Okay. So now your land purchase receipt. I've been like hammering on this from the very beginning. Very important that for not just land, anything you buy, any item you purchase, it is very important that you get a receipt for it. That receipt shows that, yes, I bought this property, or I bought this object, or I bought whatever it is with my money, and it now belongs to me. Even if issues should stem up at the end of the day, that is evidence that money has changed hands. If it's not given to you as a gift, now you can get property as a gift. What you'll be getting, obviously, you won't have a receipt for that because you did not pay for it, but you would execute a deed of gift to show that this property was gifted to you by whoever. So land receipt is very important, that for whatever you buy, you get a receipt, whether it's your house, your car, your land. So land is not exempted. Very important. This regular receipt can save you anytime, any day, to show that I purchased this land. So, however, it's very important to also understand that land receipts cannot work alone, to grant you ownership of land. No, you cannot just say, I have receipts, it's my own. No, land receipts must be accompanied with other land documents, other legal documents. However, it is very important that you have a receipt. And when you're buying a property from whether a real estate agent or an individual, and they do not want to issue you a receipt, say whatever now, you should be very reluctant in those type of transactions. Now, your survey plan. Survey plan is very important because this is what describes the exact location of the property, the precise location, the dimension. If your property, if they are telling you, I'm selling you how would I describe it now? 50 by 100, and at the end of the day, the property is like 30 by 40 or whatever. Is that survey plan that will show you the exact dimension, and it will show you the exact location of the property. It also shows the boundaries. Oh, this is where yours starts from, this is where yours ends. A canal passes through this, if there is, or whatever, or if, whatever dimension, that is what your survey plan will show to you. And then your survey plan, one good thing is that it can be verified for authenticity anytime, anywhere. All you need to do is take it to your land registry, it will be charted and all of that. And it's also very important to note that when you are perfecting your title, either with your governor's consent, your C of O, whichever way, the record copy of your survey plan is always required, because once you have registered your survey plan is a registrable land document. Once it has been registered, a record copy will be filed at land. This is to show that anytime, first of all, you get your survey plan and you go to chart it. It will show you whether that land is under acquisition or not. It will show you whether that land belongs to your your network has gone up. Okay, so it will show you if that land is free from possible government acquisition, if there's any encumbrance on it, and all of it. It will even show you if that land is, so if you take your survey and you chart it first, it will show you if that is a commercial land, if that is a land for residential purpose, it's an industrial land, whatever the specific use of the land is, that your survey plan can tell. So next is your contract of sale of land. Contract of sale of land, yes, it's a land document, also important, and it is admissible in court whether if the transaction goes wrong, if anything goes wrong in a land transaction. So remember I spoke earlier about contract of sale. Now, I want to buy a piece of land from Mr. B, and then he tells me that this land is 100 million. And I say, okay, I'm ready to buy it for 100 million. However, I do not have this 100 million to pay you now. Are you willing to proceed with the transaction? And he says, yes. Are you willing to transfer titles to me on payment of certain sum? He says, yes. And then we enter into this transaction in good faith. We execute a contract of sale of land. Now, contract of sale of land will state how much consideration has passed from myself to Mr. B. It will state the term that we wish to complete payment of this transaction, and title will be passed, and that if anything should go wrong in this transaction, Mr. B is going to indemnify me, all of those things. The contract of sale will state such. Now, you would sign it, and if at the end of the day, halfway through the transaction, Mr. B now says that he's not proceeding with this transaction, I can, sue him to enforce my right to say, no, when we entered into this transaction, this was the intention of both parties. And then contract of sale, it's very admissible at any time to show, evidence of a sale of land transaction. Now, let's talk about right of occupancy. Right of occupancy, it may not be very popular in some parts, but it is also a valid land document. For example, in Abuja now, most of the land that you would purchase come with an RFO. Now, RFO simply means a right of occupancy. Under the Nigerian land tenure system, it is also obtained from the state government or the local authority, and it is typically applicable to lands categorized as government-owned land or acquired through government allocation. So if you get a land through government allocation, yes, you can be issued a right of occupancy to show that this land has been allocated to you, and you now have rights of an occupant of the land. To secure an RFO, just like a COO, interested individuals must go through the process, submit necessary documentation, proof of payment, apply your survey plan, pay the required fee, and then upon successful completion, the government will issue a letter or a document that recognizing that you, the individual, you're the rightful occupant of the land or the property. So that is it. In Abuja, it is very popular. You have your FCDA, you have the one from your local authorities. That is the one given by the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, or the one by FCDA, whichever one of it. It is verifiable, and it shows proof of ownership. Now, deed of gift. I know I mentioned this just in passing earlier, but when you do not pay a certain amount of money for land, that land can be gifted to you, and you would have full rights of ownership of that land. However, gifting land is not by word of mouth. I cannot just tell you that, oh, see that my land at Ikeja, I have gifted it to you. And then you go ahead telling people it's my land, you can sell it when there's no document evidencing that this land now belongs to you. It has to be documented. So a deed of gift will be duly executed, and it is a legal document that shows that ownership has been transferred. And yes, you can also take this deed of gift and go to lands and register the title, and it will show on lands that I am now the rightful owner of this land by deed of gift. We also have deed of mortgage. Let's say it may not be so popular, but this is a land type. It's a land title. So if I take out a loan with my land, and then I take out that loan with my land, and then the document states that if I pay you back this money in 1 year, you return back my land documents, and this is mine. It's like using my land for a collateral. But if I cannot pay you, then by way of this mortgage, this land now belongs to you. So by that, the ownership has passed to you. You can go and register that deed of mortgage, and it will show that you are now the lawful owner. That means I've lost my land. So a deed of mortgage is another important land document in Nigeria that shows ownership of a landed property has been transferred from the mortgagor. So the mortgagor is the borrower of the money to the mortgagee, the lender of the money, whoever lends me the money. That means ownership has transferred from the borrower to the lender for a certain period. Now, the owner of the land, who is the mortgagor, that is the borrower, can claim ownership of the land after the mortgage has been completed. So if I pay back the money that was borrowed to me, I can claim back ownership of my land. However, if the person who borrowed the money, so if I do not pay back the loan, the person who has the paper can take the property. So that is what it means. And then by way of deed of mortgage, he goes to register the title, and he has become the owner of the property. So if you want to buy a property and you see a deed of mortgage on it, and it has been duly perfected, that is also this title on the property. So most times, yes, you might check all the boxes, and if maybe because let's not rule out the fact that sometimes you might have certain land transactions that, whether you like it or not, or whether you think you have ticked all the boxes, may come in as deceptive. So you have a deed of mortgage taken. I have used my land to take a mortgage, and then I still go ahead to sell that land to you. Meanwhile, by way of that mortgage, I no longer own title to that property. So it's very important that due diligence is being carried out before you purchase any property. And in Lagos, or most states now, a deed of mortgage, even before the mortgage is redeemed, it is irregistrable. So I can, if I take out a deed of mortgage now, I have the papers, I can go and register it. So you have where you can check properties that have mortgages on them, the period, you can check if it has been redeemed, they will be taking off that system. So you can, it's actually very confirmable in lands. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I just briefly distinguish between C of O and R of O, because most times, most people would ask, why are you giving me an R of O? Why not a C of O? Well, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, both of them confirm, they confer certain rights and limitation. One thing to notice, an R of O can be converted to a C of O, yes. An R of O sometimes, because people may not say, oh, you have an R of O, not a C of O. Sometimes if you want to take out loan in the bank, banks may require a C of O. If you say, oh, I have an R of O, it may face certain limitations, but that doesn't, it's just based on people and transactions, but it is a very valid land document. And due to the fact that a C of O is, according to the Land Use Act, it transfers ownership from the government and serves as proof that the government recognizes that individual or the entity as the rightful owner. Also, the application process may also vary between getting a C of O and an R of O. Then, as the name implies, R of O means right of occupancy, C of O means certificate of occupancy, and then maybe the absolute rights on the property and all of that. Then before we conclude, let me just briefly talk about a land. It's not here, but it's also a land title that is also recognizable according to law. Now, most times you might want to buy a property, and then they tell you that, you ask, does this property have a C of O? They say no. Does it have an R of O? No. Does it have a governor's consent, gazette, excision, all the titles that we've talked about? And person says, oh no, but I have a court judgment on this land. That is also a very valid land document. If you have a Supreme Court judgment, so most times when you have land disputes on the land, first of all, that will go to the High Court. From the High Court, if you are successful and the other person does not agree, you can appeal, and then it will move to the Court of Appeal. If you are still successful, the other person does not agree, you can still say no and still move to the Supreme Court, and you are still successful. That is the highest judgment you can get on it. It is your land. Nobody can ever contest. After Supreme Court, where are you going to again? That land is your own. So a court judgment is also a proof of ownership that does not only affirm ownership, but it also impacts on the title of the land. Once a judgment is made, it can act as a substitute for any traditional land title. So even if there was a C of O before on it, and you now have a Supreme Court judgment or a court judgment on it, that automatically substitutes the traditional land title, and then it provides a legal and enforceable basis for ownership of that land. So yes, so if you want to buy a property tomorrow and this is mentioned to you that this is the title I have, okay, oh, I have a court judgment on the land, it's my own, yes, you can proceed with that transaction. Also, your court judgment can be perfected. You can go and register that court judgment any day, anytime, to show that this land was once a subject of dispute, and there's now a judgment on the land. Hereby, by virtue of these disputes, Mr. A is now the legal owner of this land. Yes, that's very That is very authentic. So finally, in conclusion, it is important that we understand and familiarize ourselves with necessary land documents in Nigeria, so you can know when someone is offering you a false title. So tomorrow somebody come and say, "Oh God, this land is my own. What do you have on it?" I have a receipt that the owner gave me. Is that the only title you have? Then you should know that there's a problem. Like I said, receipt is not a land title. It must accompany other documents. Yes. Okay. Thank you all. I will now take any question for exit. Thank you very much. Okay, I see that someone asked a question in the chat box. Please, is there any number of years for court judgment? No number of years for court judgment. Court judgment is perpetual. It means that for life, once a judgment is on it, it is your own. Nobody is coming again to fight it with you. So there's no number of years. But however, it also depends on the type of judgment that is gotten. If the judgment states and declares that Mr. B shall henceforth be the owner of the land, shall be in undisturbed possession of the land. Yes. Or the court judgment says Mr. B only has right to the boundary, or it all depends on what the judgment states. But yes, the declaration in the judgment does not have any, it's not valid for any number of years, it's perpetual. Okay, someone says he would like to see the slide. Okay, I'll see how the organizers can make something simpler available. Then please, please, which are under titles and which are under documents? Okay. Titles and document. Like I said, your document is your receipt, your deed of assignment. Your deed of assignment, until it is registered, it will now become a title. But on the face of it, it is a land document because this just shows this has been. But when you register it, your deed of assignment is what you would register and it will give you your governor's consent. So, but on the face of it, that is just a land document. So when I buy land, what will I get? I get receipts. That is the document. All of this, that is when they now become titles. So when you go ahead to perfect your survey plan, that's when it now becomes a registered survey. On the face of it, that's just a provisional survey. You cannot confirm it anywhere. Your deed, where you go ahead to register it, it now becomes governor's consent. So that is it. Thank you. Any other questions, clarifications?
So if you've gotten value, can you put in the chat box value, 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 value? Can we put our best emoji in the chat box to appreciate our speaker, our legal practitioner this morning for giving us much value about what we need to know about land, title, and document. Can you just appreciate her with your best emoji in the chat box and say thank you so much for this so much value I've gotten today, and put in the chat box one or two things you've learned from today's session with our legal practitioner. Can you put it in the chat box? Let's do that quickly as we quickly move into the role play session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Put it out in the chat box. Let's appreciate our speaker this morning. So we know all that we need to know about our title document. You know what the C of O means, and you know what R of O means. So you don't say, I don't know what R of O is. You know what your deed of assignment is. You know what the survey plan is. You know how important the receipt is in land title and documents. It's very important we take note of all of these land title and documents. All right. So briefly, we'll be going into today's product. I'll be playing the video of the property. Then we'll take quick role play session. Then we'll call it a day. All right. So if you're going for a role play session today, you can just signify, raise your hands. As soon as we're done with the video, then we can quickly run to the role play session. All right.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Why are you climbing now?
Shebi you say una get pre-launch for Objection.
Yes.
I dey count my plots now. 7, 8.
I beg no. Enjoy yourself.
You know, say this is they go this land now. This phase one, they don't sell and finish.
Yes.
All my family don't buy. That time they buy for 5 million naira, I don't buy.
Exactly.
And so now they do pre-launch 50%. I say make I count how many plots I get when I set
20 plus for now for this.
Make I count 15.
That is
17, 18,
Okay.
19, 18.
Very Fun City Kurudu Phase 2 is officially open. We are giving a 50% discount pre-launch offer. Subscribe now.
No follow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Why are you climbing now?
Shebi you say una get pre-launch for Objection.
Yes.
I dey count my plots now. 7, 8.
I beg no
9.
enjoy yourself.
You know say
This
this
is style.
you know say as they go this land now, this phase one they don't sell and finish.
Yes.
All my family don't buy. That time they buy for 5 million naira, I don't buy.
Exactly.
And so now they do pre-launch 50%. I say make I count how many plots I get when I set
20 plus for now for this.
Make I count 15.
That is
17, 18,
Okay.
19, 18.
No follow. Very Fun City Kurudu Phase 2 is officially open. We are giving a 50% discount pre-launch offer. Subscribe now.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you've been enjoying today's session. I've gotten value, a lot of value. If you know you've gotten so much value, put in the chat box. I've gotten value. So quickly, we're going to move to the role play. We just play the video of the property we're looking at today. That's the Kurudu, Very Fun City. So if you know that you want to participate in the role play today, please signify. We've been doing this role play for how many days now. So please signify if you like to participate in the role play, please. If you want to participate in the role play, type ready in the chat. I can't see anybody typing ready. What's happening? If you want to participate in the role play, please type ready in the chat so we can be quick about this. Okay, so let me briefly talk about the property. So as you know, in GTEX here, we offer luxury service plots. And we're looking at very Fort City in Kurudu, Abuja. From the flyer, you can already see the landmarks. We have the Deeper Life Church, Kurudu, the campground. We have New Kurudu Market, Post Service Army Housing Estate, Empire Gardens, Police Housing Estate, Mosque, High Beam Estate. And also in our estates, we have certain structures in place, certain development that will skyrocket the appreciation of these plots. We don't just sell lands. Our lands are in prime locations with very high potential, like high return on investment. And you know, in our estates, we have green and smart homes. You know, here in GTEX, we offer premium. So our buildings are green and smart. Or there's going to be a central sewage system. We've been hearing these things every day. There's going to be a central sewage system whereby there's just going to be a sewage system for the entire estate, and the waste collected will be converted to biogas. So people living in that estate, they won't have to spend money to buy gas for cooking. Also, good roads and paved roads, 24/7 electricity, good security. There's going to be a playground for kids. There's going to be a gym, and many more. So when you're pitching your product to your customer, you know, you have to emphasize on what is in it for them. You have to tell them what they're getting from investing in this. And our Kurudu, our the very Fort City, is going for 20 million outright payments. So if your client is going to pay outrightly at once, it's 20 million. But if they're paying instrumentally, it's going to be 25 million, where they have to first make a deposit of 20 million and spread the rest across months. But then it's exciting that if you're getting an acre, you'll be getting a plot for 15 million naira. So you know, an acre is 6 plots. So 15 times 6, that's what your client is going to be paying. So yes, and our lands are 400 square meter, is fenced and all of that. So that's just like a brief summary of this property. So now who is ready for the role play? If you know you want to participate in the role play, type ready in the chat. If nobody is typing, I'm going to start nominating people. Oluwadamilola and Jorin, please unmute yourself and turn on your video. Let's have this role play. Oluwadamilola and Jorin.
Hello, ma.
Yes, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, Oluwadamilola.
Actually, hey.
I can't hear you. Please tell to me. Tell this properly. The flyer
Okay, ma.
on the screen. Tell it to me. I'm your customer. You're putting a portrait to me. So sell this property to me and make sure I buy it at the end of the day. So let's start.
Hello, good morning, man.
Good morning. Please,
I trust you're good. Oluwadamilola is on the line.
I'm fine, thank you.
Calling you from GTEX Holdings.
Okay, where did you get my number from?
Yeah, I actually got your number from advertisement.
What advertisement?
Our companies run some advertisement for high ticket individuals like you, and we actually got your number probably when you're trying to register for some of the meetings and showing interest in some of the properties. That's how I got your contact, man.
Okay. Where are you calling from? What's your company name?
This is GTEX Holdings.
Oh, G-Tech Holding. Okay, I remember that. Okay, so what
Yes,
can
ma'am.
I do for you this morning? Please, you have to be fast. I'm having a meeting in the next 10 minutes. So please be quick. Hello? Mr. Damilola, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening. Please go on.
Okay. Actually, you asked a question, ma.
Don't worry, just go on with what you have to say. I need to leave this
Oh,
call.
okay, ma. I actually called you as regarding the property in Korodu, Abuja, which you showed interest in, ma.
Okay.
Yes, ma. I saw you show interest in it, and I'm wondering why you haven't made the payment, ma, for the
Well,
property.
I only came across it and it caught my interest because of the location, because I know Kurudu very well. But I don't really know if it's safe for me to put my money in this or to invest with you guys. Yet. So that's why I haven't done it.
Okay. When it comes to the issue of track record, Text Holdings, which we are working with, has the track record already. 16 years experience and still counting. So you need to be sure that your money is safe with us. And we have existing estate already. This is not the first estate in Korodu. We have existing estate in Nigeria, which worth more than the price you are paying for the land. So you need to be rest assured that your money is safe with us, because we can't just pack all our estate and run away from Nigeria. And you're going to get what we are selling to you.
Okay, actually, you're not telling me what I'm getting from this land or where I should buy this land, because my friend, like some days ago, some weeks ago, my friend still bought the land in this school, and from your flyer that I saw in the advertisement, I saw 20 million for a plot, just one plot, 20 million. So why should I pay 20 million when my friend just got a land in the same location for about 5-6 million? So why am I paying 20 million for a plot from you guys?
Okay, I understand you, man. There are lands in that area that are sold out by other developers that may cost lesser, as you've said, which is right. But premium is always at a cost. All our estates are always smart and green homes. And they are run with multiple facilities. They are called luxury service plots. The roads, the road network. I don't know if you've been to some estate that there's no road, that people will need to park their car away from their plot of land. So, and they'll promise while selling to you that there's going to be roads, there's going to be this, there's going to be that, just for them to sell the road to other people later after you've purchased your plot. So this estate is a ready-made estate for you. So we are picturing the future for you. And we even have some of the future in some of our existing estates, some people that have keyed into it. As you can see, we call it smart and green home, luxury service plots. So we have some of these things existing on ground. So you're not just buying into a land alone. You can actually get that affordable from a money level. You're buying into security. You are buying into assurance. You are buying into something very premium. So that's one of the things we are selling. It's not just something that will stress you up on the long run. And I'm promising you will get value for something. You will get value worth more than what you're paying for.
So
Hello, ma. I don't know if you still have any question, ma.
yes. So aside the security that you're offering me now, and you people build green and smart homes. So I don't like, what am I getting from this land? You've not still answered my question.
I told you what you're getting from the land is a luxury service plot.
Why?
And in
What do
this
you mean by luxury service plot?
luxury service plot, if you've been to some communities or you've seen like the one your friend have purchased, I don't know. Some of them are just a piece of land, not yet demarcated. There's no yet road, but these estates, there's road access already
That in
inside the
this
estate.
you already have paved roads.
Okay, it already has a road, but this one is going to have drainage all around your plots. We're
Drainage
going
all
to make
around my plot.
yes, it's luxury service plot.
Drainage all around my plot. What am I
Yes, ma'am.
using drainage all around my plot for?
If there's a community without drainage, without luxuries, the road is not there. The road, the estate is not done properly. It's just a bunch of land, let's say 50 plots of land, and it's just a bunch of land like that. It's not a community you want to live in, but a community that everything is mapped out. Block A, plot so. You're just going to go there and pick your own. And some people may say this without doing it, but here we do it. We say it and do it. So that's the difference. And the value we're bringing into this estate, another thing you are getting is that it's going to make the property sell itself. If you are buying for investment, if you're not buying for building in it, if you just pay this amount of money, you can be rest assured in 5 years' time, in 7 years' time, you can sell it far higher than this price you're selling. Because what we are bringing into this estate alone is going to make your property appreciate far more than that of your friend, which is one of the things I'm very sure of. We have examples already in other estates, like Kuje Phase 1, that started selling for 1.5 million and so can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yes, ma'am. So I said we have an example of something like that existing already. Kuje Phase 1, White House Estate Kuje Phase 1 was selling for 1.5 and at the end of the year, it sold out. Hello, ma, can you hear me?
Yes, I could not hear you for a while. I think your
So
network.
sorry, ma. Yeah,
Okay,
the
no
network is.
problem.
Yes, ma. I
Okay.
don't know if you have any other question.
Yes, I saw something about what's the size of your plot?
It's 400 square meter, ma.
500 square meters. Why other people are selling 600 square meters? Why are you selling 400 square meters? Why
Other
should I
people are
pay?
selling 600 square. Ma?
Yes, other people are selling 600 square meters, 500 square meters. Why should I pay a huge sum for 400 square meters?
Okay.
Why is your land, your plot, why is it 400 square meters? Why is the size 500 square meters?
Why is it not 500 square meter, ma?
Yes, why is it not 600 square meters? Why is it 400?
Okay, we are actually about the land size. We are meticulous about allocating the land because what we are bringing in, we need to attract enough funds to be able to sponsor the project. So if we make it 600, 700 square meter, there'll be few development and there'll be few money intake. Because if we're making it 600 square meter, that means the price will increase. As well, you complain about the price the first time that the price seems high compared to the price of other estates. So if we increase the price because of what we're bringing in, if we increase the land size, that means we're increasing the price, and we don't want the price to be high because we still want people to be able to afford it. So that's one of the reasons why we get 400, and 400 can suit any building you are. Most of the building you're going to bring in, is it duplex, is it bungalow? It can still fit into the building you want to have in. So that's why we say since 400 is okay, let's make it 400 instead of increasing it to 600. And if I thought you still want more information, if you can get something 600, I can actually connect with you with my boss in the office. So she's going to throw more light into that.
Okay, thank you very much, Damilola. Actually, I have a meeting to attend to now. So can we reschedule this call for 2 p.m. today?
Okay, ma, I will appreciate that, ma. But the reason why I called you is because the offer you saw is about expiring now because we have another estate to focus on, and I don't want you to miss out on that offer. We only have 2 of them remaining, so I really want you to do something now. That's
Okay,
one
so
of the reasons why I put this call
you're
through.
saying the offer is expiring today or what?
Yeah, it's expiring today. It's a limited offer, and at the same time, we have 2 slots remaining.
Okay.
So that means by the end of that day of the day, you may not have this particular estate. I don't want you to miss it.
Okay, don't worry. Thank you very much, Damilola. You can send me necessary details on WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp number, and also send your account details as well. Damilola, are you there? Damilola, did you get what I said?
Yes, I understand you, ma. I said I'm sending the document with you with the subscription form, ma,
Yes, thank you very much. And the
and
account
the
details.
account details
Yes,
to make the payment, ma.
thank you very much. Yes.
Yes, ma. You're welcome, ma.
Bye. Wow. That was so good. Damilola, you did very well. You even exceeded my expectations. You did really well. I like that for every question I asked, you had the right answer. And your confidence was top notch. Like you were confident as you were speaking. That was really good. And one part that blew my mind was when you brought in the whole urgency tactic. You wanted to use the urgency tactic of me, Abby. So you talked about the offer expiring today, and that prompted me to want to make payments immediately. So that's really good. You did really well. So I'm going to give the floor to Olamilekon to okay, so we're going to stop here. I'm sure we gained a lot today from Doctor's video, from the training we had today. I'm sure we learned a lot and got value. So we're going to be wrapping up here. Yes, and let's not forget about the Doha trip that is coming up. All you have to do is just make 50 million in sales, just 50 million. In fact, just one sale can give you that opportunity, and then you get an all expense paid trip to Doha. I'm sure nobody wants to miss it. And all you have to do is just 50 million naira in sales. So don't forget to invite your 20 people every day so you can win 500,000 naira for running your ads. From running these ads, you're going to get a lot of leads, a lot of clients. You make sales worth times more than hundreds of what you're using to run this ads, which is the 500K. So let's not be discouraged. Let's invite our 20 persons every day for this challenge so you can win 500,000 naira for your ad. Then also the G&A would appreciate if you could make just a 30-second video saying what you learned, like taking this whole challenge, the days you come and attended, what you learned, the value you got in. Also saying thank you to Dr. Steven, saying thank you to GTEX and Associate, and you can just say what, how will I put it? Encourage other people to come and learn what you're learning, to come and get immense value just like you're getting. This, the value you're getting it for free. A lot of people pay a lot to get this value. So it would be good to invite other people to also come and benefit from this challenge. So we're going to be wrapping up here today. Tomorrow by 10, please don't forget the challenge continues. Tomorrow, come with energy, come with everything, come with your pen and your paper to jot down a lot of value you're going to be getting here. So tomorrow by 10, we'll see you again. Thank you for coming. Have a wonderful day. We'll also share the products on WhatsApp, the products for tomorrow, and everything you need to know. Thank you for joining. Have a lovely and wonderful day. Bye-bye.